And we're live. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Reverse Polarity Side Jag. Something I don't know. This is Side Jag, right?
This is Side Jag.
Welcome to Side Jag. Tonight we're going to talk about the Menedez documentary.
Menendez.
Menedez is Menedez.
Yeah, there you go.
Two kids that did something nasty. What's funny is because the second part documentary is coming up. Is
it
on the 7th? They're actually a documentary is coming out that this was based off of. So all the research that went into this to film this, they filmed a documentary on that, which is coming up on the 7th.
Are they going to have the real brothers in there?
I think so. Yeah.
Ooh,
yeah.
That might be interesting.
No, I'm actually waiting for that because I need. This was a lot.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So
there's a bunch of stuff in here that I had no clue about. I was familiar with the case and I knew what happened and all this stuff and knew about the sexual abuse and all that. Not in this grade of detail. And like you just kind of forget all the little things that happened during that trial. And I was young when that trial happened.
Yeah. I just paid no attention to it.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the documentary first and foremost before we dig into the case.
Yeah.
I feel the documentary was done, or whatever this was. I don't. What would you call this? This isn't even a documentary.
This is like a made-for-TV movie. It's something that we would have seen on after school at some point.
After school special.
Somewhat, yeah.
Okay, I mean,
a very dark and
very dark and twisted version of it for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely rated R. So here was my big complaint. I felt like the series lacked focus in that they were really. It was so obvious the steering that they were doing towards your emotions and your thoughts on this case. So it seemed like the whole first and second act was about you finding sympathy for these guys. And then like at the last minute, they just flipped the script and were like, no, they're all just pieces of shit. And here's why.
Yeah.
And it was like, wait, what just.
And I didn't watch the very last episode. So I seen 9 at the end talking to O.J. Simpson, which I do remember. O.J. Simpson, once the O.J. Simpson stuff happened, the case was over.
Yeah.
For them. But at that episode they start to come back, and this is the part I remember. I don't remember anybody being sympathetic for them at all in my memory.
Right. I don't know. I wasn't. I mean, I could.
Right. So my memory is like everyone knew these kids did it, and there was some sexual abuse allegations.
Right. No way to prove it.
No way to prove it, and it seemed unfounded at the time. But everyone was like against them. So as we go into that last episode that I haven't watched yet, it seems like that's the part I remember.
So the last episode, which you'll see, is just like, okay.
Yeah, it all went to shit. Well, you knew once he had the girlfriend and in the show and he's talking to her and you see the tape recording, it's like, oh, well, yeah, this isn't a red herring. Right. This is going to blow up. This is, what do they call that when they, foreshadowing. It's foreshadowing, you know?
I mean, yeah, but there was a book that came out. So, I mean, it's like nothing about this. It's more like, listen, guys, there's all this truth out here about this. Like this has already all happened. You can look all this up. We're just trying to fill in some of the blanks with interviews that we've done and with, statements people have made. And so we're taking a creative leap here as far as what makes sense out of all of this, because the reality is this is antithesis of Crying Wolf.
Yeah.
And they got caught lying so many times that it's like, who knows? Like, there's the whole scene where the dad is like going out and he's going out of town. He's getting a blowjob from the guy. And you're like, well, how do we know if this even happened? Did they interview the guy, the blower?
Right.
Because if they didn't, we're just assuming this happened. Like,
Well, and since it's not a documentary, they're taking creative freedoms, I'm sure,
yeah,
all over the place.
you know, and it's like there was just too many things that they were really trying hard to in that first, 8 episodes to really make you be like, "Oh shit." Like
Yeah.
maybe but it was like it was so biased that way that on the ninth episode you're just like, "Oh, you guys were duping me the whole time." Like it's
Yeah.
like you guys were just like setting me up for failure on this. So,
When
like,
a little piece of
screw
information
you.
that got me on that was I was doing a little research about this in the case as I was watching it, talking specifically about this show. The people that the directors of the show, the actors, they're pushing for a retrial of the Menendez brothers.
Oh, of course.
So they're clearly that's what they think is like, yeah, they got a bunk trial. They
Oh,
shouldn't be in prison.
let me tell you what. If they in episode 9, which you'll see, if which okay, so everything that they've done courtroom has apparently been pretty on point.
Yeah.
'Cause they have the court records just to pull. It's just a matter of reenacting it.
Yeah.
And so I'm assuming that the trial, the last trial went according to what they're showing us. And that was a travesty of justice. Okay?
Yeah.
Because they just so a couple things were in place at the time. And the Vanity Fair writer that's in it, what's I can't think of the actor's name. His role in this is kind of the he's kind of the because he really serves no purpose. Like there's
No,
nothing
he
that he's bringing to the table, but he's kind of, if it's a documentary, he's the guy talking in the documentary.
right, yeah.
So so his part in all of this is just to kind of fill in some of the cracks that
Yeah.
we can't do. And so, he brings up a couple points throughout the thing that are really helpful. But the thing that he brought up that made the most sense was they LA, they just lost Rodney King went to shit. OJ Simpson went to shit.
Yeah.
There's no way these two kids that are already admitted to murdering somebody are getting off in any way, shape, or form. There's no
Yeah.
way they're going to go to prison. And it looks like if the court case went any way, like, then that's why they were in prison. Because here again, there's no reason why they shouldn't go to prison. They committed a
Right.
crime. They murdered these people. Life in prison, like, it seems a bit much. But
Yeah.
there again, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, do I care? No. I mean, they killed their parents. They're miserable pieces of shit. Should they rot in jail for the rest of their life? Yeah, probably.
Yeah. I mean,
But then again, if anything they said is true, then maybe not.
right.
And there's no way for us to know.
Well, the
Um,
crazy thing about it is either way it goes, they premeditated this,
oh yeah.
and it was not like a self-defense act. So
No. They
that's like
yeah.
they planned this
Well, and so that
loosely, vastly,
yeah,
badly, but they did
yeah.
plan it.
And that was kind of the conversation that there's going on in the last episode is that um okay, look, the the district attorney, or whoever, the guy, the state's guy that was prosecuting, the prosecutor,
Yeah.
basically says it in a nutshell. Like, listen, there's people have been molested, raped before. This isn't anything new. Hell, some of you in this room may have been. The difference is you didn't kill your parents. They did. They could have done anything else to get away from the situation, but they chose to kill their parents. Okay. Why?
Yeah.
Why did they kill their parents? They could have walked away from this.
And at
And they
this
didn't.
point, they were what, 21 and 19
Yeah.
or something. So they
They could have
had
left.
yeah, they could have left. Like they could have left. Lyle had already stopped it for himself. But his
Right.
brother still at 19 was still getting molested.
So he
And
says.
yeah, so he says. And it's clear that they didn't leave because they wanted the money. Like at the end of the day, they wanted the money. Because they could have just left.
Yeah, I mean, they were thieves.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I like part of me wants to believe that their dad was a dickhead. Like,
Yeah.
but the
Oh, I
other part of
believe
me,
that. That's like that seems well documented. Like the dad was kind of just a stern piece of shit that also turned out to molest them.
well, yeah, but we don't know if he molested him.
Yeah.
We have no proof of that.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and there again, just being an asshole dad doesn't necessarily make you.
Yeah, worth killing. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah. Yeah.
mean, everyone has their moment, right, where they're just dicks.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's plenty of parents out there that are assholes that don't get blown away with a shotgun.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. That's the problem I have with all of it. I mean, if we knock it down to what it really is, it's two kids that planned and executed killing their parents for whatever reason.
Right.
And that's what the DA was basically pointing out. Like, you could say anything you want, anything, any circumstance you want, which is fine. But the reality is this: they could have done anything else, and that was their whole case. Their whole case was like, we know they did it. They told us they've done it. They've lied so many times.
Yep.
And they had a book written about them. They have recordings, multiple recordings of them talking about it, and even the recordings contradict each other.
Yeah.
So it's like there's nothing that we can believe them saying ever at all.
And
So
dude, Lyle, like it is just the way they positioned it. This is like 90% Lyle, 10% Eric.
I think they're just both idiots, man.
Yeah, well, definitely they're both they're both sociopaths.
Yes.
No
Yes.
doubt. And is that because the abuse or because of whatever they say? Either way, they were entitled sociopaths.
Yes. Yeah. So I mean, the reality is who cares what happens to them?
Yeah.
Because I don't think we should waste another dime on them. They've had all their fun in the sun. I mean, the only thing I would the only thing I would be willing to give them is that they should be able to be in the same prison.
Yeah.
I get the idea there that it's like, oh no, look what they did together. We should never have them together. Is basically what the thought was. Is that putting them together, they're gonna concoct. It's like, dude, they're in prison.
Yeah.
What are they gonna do? Make a riot? I mean, dude, then shoot them. I mean, that's
Yeah.
like, come on, man. Like, they're gonna spend the life in prison and they can never. I mean, I get it, but they didn't hurt anybody but themselves.
Yeah. And it's just the documentary, and I don't know if this happen during the trial, because I don't remember this. There was like an incestuous relationship between them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because I don't remember that part, and I'm like, they're kind of pushing this heavy, so maybe it is. I mean, who knows?
There again, who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Well, you do know that Lyle, he admitted to, and Eric said that Lyle did molest Eric.
Yeah, but
when they were younger.
How do we know?
Just because what they admitted to,
They admitted to a whole bunch of shit, though, man. They admitted to killing their parents. They admitted to not wanting to do it. They admitted to being, sex with their dad, and and their mom touching their. I mean, everything they say is all suspect. I mean, this is one of those times where you just sit there and go, I feel I need a smoking gun.
Yeah.
Because
that would be the only reason I'd want to see a retrial, just so all the evidence is brought back out and actually looked at and said, hey, what is this? What they've done? Like, what have they done since they've been in prison? Have they had other issues? Like, what's going on with them? Just to see how it continued or didn't continue or whatever the hell happened.
I mean, I don't know what kind of impact they would have on society as a whole. Yeah, I don't know what they bring to the table. I mean,
no, I don't think they deserve it. I don't think they deserve a retrial. I just would like to re-examine the evidence officially in that way. And that's the only thing I would like out of it. But I don't think they deserve one. No.
Well, but that's the problem though, because it's like, okay, so if we just examine the facts, which is
Yeah.
really what this last court case seemed like in the last episode, which made it seem so bad.
Yeah.
Because like they gave no leniency to them at all. They were going. This was a train ride right to prison. That's
Mhm.
all this trial was.
Yeah.
They were already convicted. They were going to like you're going to jail. The only thing is, are you going to get death or life? That's literally how they approached this, and they did everything they could to make sure that's what happened.
Yeah.
Like she was objecting left and right, and they're just like, "Shut up! Are you going to object to everything we say?" And she's like, "Yeah, yeah, because this isn't right."
Yeah.
And so from but I get it. I get the DA, because that's the mentality. It's like we see we see all this courtroom drama bullshit, and the reality is it's nothing like that. It's just like, you know here's this. In this case, it's like, listen, they've admitted to killing their parents. We know they did it. They've told us in recordings by multiple people that they did this. Did we get gunshot residue off their hands that day? No, we fucked up. But they've already admitted that they did it. But, you know, at this point, it's like, well, let's admit we didn't do it. Well, we've already admitted on stand, so we have to assume you did. Well, I said all this other shit too that you're not letting me. So it's like, what? That's all. It's just lies on lies on lies, and it's
Yeah.
like, where does it go? Where does it end? And it's like, honestly, just let them stay where they're at.
Yeah.
Fade into nothingness.
I don't think they'll get a retrial just
No,
for that reason. I mean,
I
there's
mean they're
no.
suffering the dual life sentences.
Yeah. Mhm.
What is that? I mean, like I said, I think the only concession I could see giving them is that they're in the same prison.
Yeah.
Like, I think that would be fine. But I mean, I don't know. It's not my decision to make.
Yeah. And killers get out all the time.
Yeah, that's
It's
true.
crazy,
Yeah,
which is crazy, but they do.
yeah.
That's
But it was the show was just so heavy. Like they really went into this ancestral stuff, and like
Mhm.
the whole Spartan thing, and and it was like, wow, you guys are really pushing this narrative hard, man. Like, I get it, but there again, at the end of the day, at the end of the movie, we all were like, all right, well, this is all suspect. We
Mhm.
don't know if any of this happened. You know,
Yeah.
like and there's conversation, like there was so many creative liberties taken in this that it's like we know what they said because we have all of this
Right.
documented as far as what they said. What we don't have documented is everything that they're talking about.
Yeah, this is definitely not a documentary because it's just all conjecture,
Right.
and it's like what they interpreted said happened. Maybe they didn't ever say that they talked to him. They didn't say there's no statements about, hey, we spoke to them and this is
Right.
our creative liberties. It's just they're presenting it as if this is everything that happened.
Right. And
When
it was,
we don't, all we know is like they know the parents got shot.
yep.
They know that they bought shotguns, the same type that they're shot with. They know how the parents were shot because the way the bullets and everything went, the
Right.
casings, and that's what they know.
Right.
What I always wondered is like you're in where they lived in Beverly Hills.
Yeah.
Who doesn't hear gunshots
These
going
are
off?
well insulated houses.
I guess so. They didn't look like it.
I'm
When
just
I was
saying.
just there, but it just seems crazy that no one heard that, and they came back, and the parents are just in there like,
So the one thing I think is funny that he says to OJ Simpson is take a plea deal.
yeah,
And he was right. They should have took a plea deal right in the beginning. Like
mhm,
they got bad advice all the way around.
yeah,
Like I would have not come back to the country. Like screw
yep,
that shit. I'm not coming back. I'm disappearing. I'm out of the country. I can go wherever I want. My
yep,
passport isn't frozen. I'm finding some. Yeah, I'll get a job waiting tables for the rest of my life.
yeah. You're gonna be what's his name? The WikiLeaks guy,
Mhm.
Julian Assange.
Yeah, well, yeah, but he's yeah, yeah. Fuck that guy. Um, I don't know, man. I felt bad. I was like, man, you were dumb. And the reality is they would have gotten away with it. There was no reason. They had no proof that they did it.
Yeah,
that falls in with the lies. If two people know something, it's not a secret anymore.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know.
the thing is, like, they could have got away with it if they weren't so dead set on getting the money right away.
Well, even getting the money right away wouldn't have mattered
Yeah,
because
well, what I'm saying is it just proved like everything made them more suspect. The more money they spent, the more they did this. Like if they would have just played the part
yeah, but they were idiots. So
longer. Yeah,
yeah, they were
they were
just
young. Like they
yeah.
were young. Like you don't think right when you're that
No,
age.
your parents just died. Let's go buy a Porsche. It's my
Yeah,
morning. I'm doing
and
it in my morning.
play Milli Vanilli at the freaking wedding
Oh yeah, that was
or at the wedding
so.
at the
So
funeral.
okay. It's funny you mentioned the Milli Vanilli.
Yeah,
I think the reason why the Milli Vanilli was such a big role in this was because it turned out Milli Vanilli
yeah,
was
the lip
such.
singing.
Well, no, they were fakes.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
the lip
yeah, yeah,
singing, the whole
yeah,
thing.
yeah. So, and I think that's kind of them there again foreshadowing the
Hmm.
like this is all fake.
Yep.
This is all fake, and we're gonna take you down the road of fakeness. So if this is what happened, here's what they're saying happened, and we're gonna portray this.
Yeah.
And at the end, on the last episode, we're just gonna say fuck you.
Yeah. That's what really happened.
And you're just like, wow, that's terrible.
Yeah, I mean, like the things I liked about the documentary, like a lot of the shots, shot for shot, they had the family portrait that's very similar to the family portrait that they had. A lot of the court scenes were very similar. The actors they got looked pretty
Oh
close
yeah,
to the real life people. So all that I thought was well done. Like it was the aesthetic of it was really good.
yeah,
The music, the cars, everything fit perfectly.
yeah.
The heavy-handedness of the sexual stuff, and it's like this is definitely not unbiased documentary or
No,
documentary at all. It's just they're trying to tell a story,
yes,
a very specific story, and that's what
yeah.
they did.
And that was the thing that after I got done with it, I was like, I really didn't like the way they did this.
Yeah,
Like they didn't let you pose the question. They just flat out told you this is what happened.
hmm yeah.
No, it didn't.
And I feel like the guy from Vanity Fair was supposed to be their guy that was like, "Hey, this is bullshit, man. Like they killed somebody, they
Yeah,
need to pay for it." But they flip him towards the end.
yeah. Well, yeah. In there, yeah. There again, he flip flops
Yeah,
back and forth because, like he says, if any of this is true, then this is the worst thing ever. But
yeah.
we'll never know. So we have to take
Well,
the words of two liars.
and the thing is, like, he's such a independable character. You can't depend on him because there's times where it's showing him talking to nobody. He's always got his little group of people he's talking to,
Right.
but then there's a few times where there's nobody there. Like it jump cuts and there's nobody there. And it's like, is this guy crazy, or is he really talking to these people at the time? And
Well, it was funny you say that because Haley asked that too,
yeah,
and I think there was people there.
yeah,
I think he's yeah. I feel like he's not schizophrenic.
yeah. Because the part that got me was he was at the dinner table.
Right, and then he was
The
just
waiter
waiting.
comes in,
Everybody was
yeah,
gone,
and it's like,
and the guy was
what
cleaning
just
up. So I'm
happened?
like,
Right.
yeah, and I was like, because to me that was like, no, because he's like, there's one piece left, and I can stay and talk. And why would the guy be there otherwise? So clearly there was some form of a party. So I think what they were posing the question was, is he gay?
Oh,
And
he's
it's like,
certainly, yeah.
well, yeah, but he was married with a daughter and his wife,
Mhm.
and they broke up, and it was just like, this isn't important. This has
Yeah,
nothing to do with the story. Haven't we had enough of that?
exactly,
Like,
yeah.
why do we need that? It's like, this is stupid.
Another part that I did like, and I did remember from the movie is when the lady tells the lawyer, like, they didn't like you,
Yes.
and I remember that, like, nobody liked her because
Yeah.
she was kind of like she was a girl boss, basically. We didn't have word for it back then, but that's what she was, and she was going in there not taking no shit and just, being pretty abrasive, and back in when that happened, that wasn't a common occurrence.
Right. It's funny too because there again, the last episode, that's the part I didn't think made sense because they let it happen was the they're blasting her.
Yeah.
And like the DA was blasting her in the case, and you're just like, wait, how really? Like she, she can't even object. She
Mm-hmm.
can't even object because she knows the judge won't care.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, like just total, just it's crazy.
Yeah.
So, and she's calling for a mistrial, and the judge's like, "No, we're gonna finish this one out." And she's like, "Oh my god, like this is ridiculous. This doesn't even make sense."
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I'll be looking forward to the
Yeah,
documentary to see how it goes.
yeah,
Could be
yeah.
the same vein though. You never know.
Well, it's a definite documentary though. So I mean, this is
Yeah.
like real, hopefully real, because I think we need that.
Right. Yeah. We
We need to be like, so yeah. I think that's the one bad part about these is they're entertaining, but in today's society, these entertainment things don't always.
Yeah, they're not the
Right.
true picture. There was the OJ Simpson one not that long ago.
Yeah, that was the first. Or that was Haley really. That one was really good.
Yeah.
Like Haley liked that one. I like that one. This one, not so much.
Well, it's like how far are we gonna go? Are we gonna say, oh, let's do one on Charles Manson? Turns out he wasn't that bad.
So there is another one coming out. There's a third one. Hang on. Sue sent it to us the other day because so the next one is Dahmer.
Wait, they already had that one, right?
Yeah, but no, I'm not sorry. Who is it? They did Dahmer, and then they did the
John
brother,
Wayne Gacy.
and then Season Monsters.
Oh, were they doing the Ted?
The Butcher of Plainfield, Charlie Hunnam or the Butcher of Charlie Hunnam plays the guy.
Yeah.
The story of the Butcher of Plainfield.
I don't know that I'm familiar with that.
I don't know
You know what I would like to see is one based on Joseph D'Angelo. Do you know who that is?
Which one is he?
They called him. So they thought that he was responsible for 4 or 5 different people that they thought were 2 of them they thought were serial rapists, 3 of them they thought might be serial killers.
Okay,
and it was all him. He was a cop.
Oh,
and it was like the Hillside Strangler. It was all in California within a certain radius, and he turned out to be all of those.
Oh,
and they found him. I listened to a podcast, that's why, but they found him through the 23andMe stuff. It's like someone in his family,
right?
put on there. Well, law enforcement uses that database.
Yeah,
They're like,
they're
hey,
not supposed to.
like, yeah, exactly. But they can pay to use it. That was a big controversy. But they're like, hey, this DNA matches DNA from these crime scenes. This isn't the person, we can tell from the DNA, but this person is related to the person. So then they take it from there, step. This dude was a cop, and then they just talk about all of it. Like this dude would go in, he would like rape the women in front of the men while they're tied up, and then
you
food out
told
of
me
the
about this one.
refrigerator and crap like that.
Yeah,
that would be an interesting show, documentary, whatever.
Did they ever prosecute him?
Yeah, he might still be on trial. This only happened like 3 or 4 years ago.
Oh,
Maybe it may have been pre-COVID.
Gotcha.
But yeah, so I don't know what's happened with it since then. I haven't followed, but yeah, it's definitely a interesting situation.
Yeah. I told Haley, like we were watching, I was like, I need a break.
Yeah.
Like it just got so much, man. It got so heavy, and it was just like, like I don't even want to know if this is real because it's just so much. It was so much. It was just like, guys, and 9 episodes. Like I don't know if we needed 9 episodes.
No, I don't think so either. I was thinking it was like 4 or 5 episodes when I first started.
They definitely could have thinned this one down and got to the point a lot faster because they weren't proving anything.
No.
But
they're just stretching out. If you're interested in the case, it might be worth a watch to you. But if you're truly interested in like what really happened in the case, I would say probably not.
No.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could recommend anyone giving up 9 hours of their life to watch this.
Yeah.
It's like unless you're just into this true crime shit,
Yeah.
then. But even I don't know.
Yeah.
I was happy it was over.
Yeah, and that's like I will every now and again I'll like the Joseph D'Angelo one. I'll find myself interested in it. I'm really not a big true crime guy, but
Right.
when they're telling a compelling story and they're like, "Hey, we figured this out because this and this guy was actually he was 5 different killers and rapists that they thought they had in
Right.
different areas." It was interesting. Like
Yeah.
I listened one on B BTK killer. It was interesting as well.
Yeah.
That was absolute psychopath.
So I can't go down that road that often, man.
Yeah.
It's just too much,
Yeah.
And the screwy thing is like I haven't been able to watch anything like at all other than this.
That's all I watched.
It's like, oh my god, it's like I need a break from this.
Yeah.
It's like I was going through I was like, oh, the Wolf is out. The new movie with Brad Pitt and the other dude on Apple Plus. I was like, oh, this looked good. I'm gonna definitely try to catch that. But okay, so here was something funny I watched on YouTube that I was just kind of like, like, really? So I've been going down this Limp Bizkit kick of just like learning more about the band and just because it's easy to do, right? It's like you can just pick at that for a while, and I tend to do that. I'll find a subject and I'll just like, oh, let's find out everything I can about this, and then because it's just entertaining. It's just something to do. It occupies your mind. It really doesn't mean anything. But I stumbled upon this video where they take songs and they bring in these 4 teenagers, older teenagers, I guess, and they're like, all right, we're gonna play this music for you, and this is from the 90s, and tell me what you think. So they had these three kids, and they played like 5 Limp Bizkit songs, and I'm just listening to these people talk, and I can figure out right away that this is going to irritate me.
Yeah.
Because listening to anything that comes out of a teenager's mouth with authority is like 5 years ago, you were 12 years old. You were 10 years old. Okay. And now you're talking in half your lifespan added to it. You're talking with authority like you have any clue what is going on.
Yeah.
Just kind of blows my mind. And so I was like, okay, cool. But I'm going to watch anyways, because I just want to see how stupid this gets. And oh my God, it got like, just listening to these, oh my gosh. Like, it's like, what has happened to the world to where like rock music is like, oh my gosh, why is he yelling at me? He's yelling so much. And why are the girls like, why do they have those tops on? And you're just like, and you're, I'm just like, why? What are they? And it's like, I don't know if I like this, and it's like, okay, that's cool, but like, it was just so frustrating to watch. I was just like, and I couldn't stop.
Yeah,
I couldn't stop. I couldn't stop watching it because I was like, I just got to see where this goes. It was so bad.
The funny thing is, like, teenagers and young adults they set the fashion trends that later get picked up by older folks. And it's crazy. Like, skinny jeans started with kids. They're in the baggy clothes now. That might come back. It's all cyclical. But
I feel like like the crap I was wearing in the 90s or 80s, late 80s, early 90s. These kids are all wearing again now.
It all comes back. Yeah,
and it's like, okay, and I look at it and go, we stopped wearing that for a reason.
Yeah.
Okay, because we all woke up one morning, we're like, yeah, this isn't working anymore. This is kind of stuff stupid.
But it all comes back. Always.
Oh yeah, and some came back and just came back too hot. Like, yoga pants,
Mm-hmm.
or bicycle shorts as they were back in the day. Like, it became yoga pants, and now they're just stretchy pants or whatever the hell you want to call them. It's like there was a time there where they were all the rage, and guys and girls could wear them equally, and then no. And now it's taken to the point of extreme. Like, we found everything we can do with these things almost, or just when we think.
Yeah.
Now it's let's have it right up your butt crack. Like, there's not been a point in anyone's life where, like, it'd be really good. So I had something riding up my butt crack. Like, everyone has always picked their ass, and you're gonna buy pants that intentionally go up your butt crack. Okay, cool.
Well, listen, man. I'm telling you, Jinko jeans are going to come back at some point. That style of jeans, that's going to be horrible. But I never liked those jeans. I've never been a stylish guy.
No, me neither.
I'm always like, when I look at anything, I'm just looking at like the classic looks. I was never wearing 2 polos, even though I was like, I'm not cool enough to wear 2 polos, but I could wear one Lacoste polo with a little alligator there, But you remember the 2 polos? I know you do.
I don't remember the 2 polos.
You don't remember the 2 polos?
No.
Dude, they would have them both collars popped up, different colors, a white and a pink or whatever.
Oh yeah,
whatever
it's the only way. It makes absolutely no sense.
And then, like, did you have mods in your when you're growing up? Like, that's what they called them, mods. They dressed like they were from the Matrix, but not in all black.
No.
So it was all like it looked. They would have like suits on with trench coats, the stupid hat with the white band around it.
So
it would almost like mobsters.
Oh, mobs. Okay, so I can tell you right now, no.
Yeah.
And the reason why is it's 90 degrees, and our schools do not. Our schools are not inside. Okay, because we don't have snow. So when you're going from class to class, you're walking outside where it is 90 degrees. So
this was in California. It's not Florida hot, but
I mean, it is now, but it wasn't back then.
Yeah.
Everyone is passing us on the hotness. So it's kind of nice. For not really, but
we had groups. We had the Jinko kids.
Yeah.
Then you had the jocks, and then you had like the popular rich kids, but that was the 2 collar pop kids. And then you had the poor kids. And then you had, that was my group, the poor kids.
I was going to say, I was there.
Yeah, that was my group, the poor kids. And then, we had the PF Flyers. We couldn't get the Chucks were the most popular at that point, even though PF Flyers were really big earlier, like in the early 70s and late 60s. But at that point, that's what you can get at, what the hell was that store called? Mervyn's. That's the store we shopped at. It's called Mervyn's.
Okay.
Like JCPenney's or something like that.
Yeah.
Or Montgomery Ward. We had that as well.
Oh, yeah, that was good.
And so we got the PF Flyers, couldn't get the Chucks because the Chucks were like 10 more bucks.
Right.
But it's just always something like that. I didn't have the Reebok pumps for a while. I did get one pair of them, but I had the Nucleus pumps because that's what they sold at the Mervyn's.
So it's funny, like, none of this ever meant anything to me. Like, I am the most anti-clothes person ever. My mom would go grocery shopping for me. She would just come home with like 10 t-shirts, 10 pairs of pants, a pair of tennis shoes, and I would just wear it. And I'd be like, yeah, whatever. Because I don't know what it was, but I absolutely hated trying on clothes. Like, it was like a phobia. It's like, oh, let's go. I don't want to try on clothes. I don't. It's like, why? I don't know why. It would freak me out. Like, and we had to wear pants to school. Like, we couldn't wear shorts.
Yeah.
Which I thought was hilarious because it's like 1,000,000 degrees outside, and we're walking around in pants. And I'm like, this is the dumbest thing ever. Like, I think why can't we wear shorts?
When we got to middle school, we also had to wear pants. You could wear shorts in elementary.
Yes.
And then middle school, we had to also wear pants. And then I only went 1 year of high school in California, or half a year. And then came up here. It was just like, whatever. It didn't matter.
Yeah. But no, we had to wear pants, which I thought was dumb.
Yeah.
To me, I was all for the school uniform. I was like, let's do that. Because, like,
That's what I had to do through high school because I
Yeah.
went to a Christian high school, so you had to wear the khaki slacks,
Right.
white polo.
Yeah.
The
No,
polo was like this at white.
I think there was one year I think I wore some polos, but for the most part it was like some t-shirt and a pair of pants.
Yeah.
That was literally you know, that was it. That's all you wore. Every now and then you wear a button-up shirt, which I thought was strange, but you know, but
What see, mine the only reason I like clothes back then is because I was a BMX kid. So in BMX, like you wanted to have the cool, like Stussy was one
right.
of that was like the most popular. I couldn't afford a Stussy. Couldn't even afford Mossimo, which is like the fake knockoff Stussy. So then I got like I can't remember. I would wear like big dogs and stuff that ended up getting popular later on.
Yeah.
And it was like you would get your jeans and we would get taper cut jeans, which weren't popular back then.
Right.
But so your legs pants didn't get stuck in the chain because
Right.
no one's gonna ride with the chain guard on because you're a freaking nerd if you did
Oh
that.
yeah. Well, I would just put a thing around my leg,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, it's
'Cause-
what or rubber bands or
yeah.
tape or
Yeah.
whatever. That that's what you did. So
Yeah, because you always had that one pair of pants where the leg was fucked up on that you didn't, because we had
yeah.
to ride our bikes to school. So,
Oh yeah,
you know,
you got it caught in the chain. You're going over those handlebars.
yeah, or you're ripping your pants.
Yeah, you're ripping your pants. You're going over the handlebars.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, it was a good time.
yeah,
Um, I don't, it was funny because none of that ever mattered to me. Like, I just needed clothes,
yeah.
and looking back, I probably should have. Like even now, it's like, I've just never been a clothes guy. I can't get excited about like,
Yeah.
you know, like there was a couple years when we were at AVE that like we wore ties to work, because
Oh man.
because Sound of Ice was wearing ties and we were like we should wear ties too.
Right.
So we would wear nice shirts and ties, and it was like a 2-year period where we would dress up and come to work, and then like overnight he calls me one morning and says, "Do you have a polo?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Wear a polo tomorrow." And I was like, "Why?" He goes, "We're done wearing ties." And I was like, "Why?" He goes, "Well, because it was having the wrong effect. Like customers were thinking that like it was going to cost more because we were
Right.
dressed up." And I was like, "That doesn't make any sense." But okay, you
Yeah.
know. So the 2-year period ran its course, had a lot of fun, and it was like that was it, and it was like okay,
Yeah.
but that was the thing. Like when I was a kid and went to high school and worked at a fast food restaurant, all the managers wore shirt and tie.
Hmm.
It might have had a short sleeve shirt on with a tie,
Right.
but it was still, they'd always tuck their tie in and, look busy and shit like that. And it was like, okay, that's what you do. Like,
Yeah.
that's a professional, and then as you started wearing a tie and you're like, that's stupid. Like, there should be no reason anyone should ever have to put a tie on.
Yeah.
The dumbest thing ever.
Which is hilarious because I have to go get a suit this weekend because Bailey's wedding is the second. And I still haven't got that. And she is a freaking slave driver. Matter of fact, as I went to go to the bathroom, she's running a freaking sweatshop in the kitchen right now. She got Cassie and Matt putting all the gifts, the little vinyl things on there. I
Yeah.
come around, I was like, every time I do my show, I come out and you're running a sweatshop. She's like, well, we got whatever, 26 days to the wedding. This is what
Yeah.
we gotta do. I was like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
As long as I'm not part of the sweatshop, it's all good.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, I get it. It's
Yeah.
it's funny. Um, yeah, I mean, I had a suit jacket that I bought, I don't know, 5 or 6 or 10, 20, 12, I don't know, a
Yeah.
long time ago. I had to go to a wedding and they're like, "You need a jacket." And I was like, "I have one. I don't know if it fits." It
Yeah.
fits still. It looked terrible. I didn't care. I wasn't gonna go buy a new jacket, but
Yeah.
part of me wants like a sports jacket. So, you know, um, I've just never been the guy that could like
Pull it off.
I could probably pull it off, but I just have never wanted to try, because
Yeah.
it's like even when I'm teaching a class, it's like I'll show up like this and I'll be like, I should probably wear a polo. And so then I
Yeah.
started wearing I'll put on a polo and I'll try to look the part. And like I should be better dressed than the rest of you because I'm the one up in front of you talking. And for Fernando, that's like an important thing. And I'll be like, well, you're not wearing a polo. Like, what the hell? You know?
Yeah.
And he'll be like, you should wear pants. And I'm like, well, now you're pushing it, you know, because
Go too far, buddy.
yeah, I mean, and then they'll just always look at you like,
yeah,
you're like, all right, fine, I'll put on pants. I mean, do you think it's any like how does this work any better with me wearing pants?
yeah.
That's all I want to know. Like, you know, like we're gonna SEMA, we'll do Rockford, and it's like they just sent us all the shirts. I got my shirts this week, and they're all these beautiful button-up shirts that say Rockford. Yeah. I'm like, oh well, shit. I guess I'm, you know, this is what we're wearing. So
yeah, I never like to work shirts like that because Kicker does those too. I got a bunch of those, and it's like, if I worked in the mechanic shop, I'd I wear those.
No, these aren't Dickies. These
No.
are going out to dinner.
Oh, so like Dixon flannel type button-ups.
Dixon, but very nice, very silky, they're really nice shirt. They are Dixons, by the way.
Yeah. So I could go with those. It's a different style than what I would.
I'm fine with it. I mean, I got a couple of those from like I think I have a JVC one that I got one year.
Yeah.
That's really nice. The problem is for me, this is the only time I'll ever wear it is if I'm contracted to do work with them on. So like I'll probably have to wear it in Canada. But other than that, I'll never wear it again.
Well, in Canada it'll help because it's cold up there. It's legit.
Not this shirt. This shirt will not keep you warm. The shirt I have on underneath it might, but
yeah.
You know, because
it's all about the layers, bro. It's all about the layers.
Yeah. So like I gotta go get some undershirts or something to wear underneath them which is funny because I would never do that, but it's like I know I'm gonna have to because it's gonna be cold.
Well, see, I've got a bunch of polos because two reasons. One's golf.
Yeah.
Depending on where some places don't care, and a lot of places we play don't care, but some places do.
Yeah.
So we want to switch up. Second is if I'm not wearing my work uniform, which is like one to go out on the floor, which is like the Dickies.
Yeah.
It's actually Carhartt stuff we have. But if I'm not wearing that, it's kind of business casual. So slacks and a polo.
Yeah.
That's the main reason. Because I was always a regular button-up shirt over a polo guy anyways.
Yeah.
And
I have a ton of polos. I definitely have a ton of polos. I have a bunch of 5-star polos. I have a couple Smash 4s. And then I have every manufacturer under the sun.
There you go. I need to clean my closet out because there is so much stuff I don't wear in there.
Well, yeah, and that's it too. It's like I don't ever wear this stuff ever. So, you know, I'm just going to fold it all up and put it in a tote.
I have a whole closet full and I wear about 10 shirts and probably about maybe 10 pairs of shorts. Probably about 5 pairs of pants. That's it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. I mean, we're guys. It's like
that's how it goes. And then once one gets worn out, it's like, all right, this soldier's retired. Now when I go to change speakers in the car, that's the shirt I put on because I don't care if it gets sweaty and ripped and whatever happens to it.
See, I don't have that problem. I never rip a shirt or anything like that.
Really? That's the problem with me is I'm bad about wearing my favorite shirts even when I'm working. And then I was like, oh, shit. Like, I got a stain on. Like, I rubbed up against something the wrong way. Now I got a grease stain from the window seal or whatever it is.
Right.
It's like, I'm an idiot. Why didn't I change my this is my favorite shirt.
Yeah, see, I don't know. I've been doing it so long. It's like, I don't want to get dirty.
Yeah.
I've just never wanted to get, that was always my mom was like, dude, I could put you in a pile of mud and you would come out clean. And I'd be like, yeah, because I would just sit there and never move, you know, because I don't want to be dirty. Which you'd think that would directly like, oh, you'd want to wear nice clothes. And it's like, no,
you just don't want to be dirty. I get it. I'm the same way. Well, what I'll do is I'll have something on, not think about it. Next thing I know, I'm under the car looking at something. Oh, I thought I seen an oil leak under there.
Yeah.
I'm looking, you get the flashlight, and then it's like, this shirt's cooked now.
Yeah. I will say I did. So, you know, I was never a jean person. Like, I've just never liked jeans.
Me neither.
And I really don't like jeans now because jeans aren't. So I did find some, like, Target has some, like, really, okay, now we're getting old guy shit, but Target had some really nice pants, and I was like, oh, I like these. These are nice, you know. So I bought a couple pairs of those, and I had to go to this wedding, and I knew I had a black pair, but for the life of me, I could not find them anywhere. And so I had to take my black jeans, and I was just miserable because I was like, God, jeans, you know,
Jeans suck.
they
like
suck.
jeans. Yeah.
And I just, you know, my legs don't fit in jeans.
Yeah.
You know, because I don't know. And it's not like I'm weirdly proportioned or anything, but you know, the calves never fit right, and you know, it's like, oh my God, or the thigh. It's just like, God damn it. And I hate like tight clothes. It's like, oh fuck.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't want them loose, and I also don't want them tight. I just want them to fit however I remember pants fitting when I was younger.
Yeah.
I made them that style. So I wear like all my stuff is, I have one pair of jeans. Everything else is like a khaki color. It's not khakis really.
Right.
Really, it's like the pants that like an outdoorsman would wear.
Right.
With a flannel, with the Dixon flannel.
Yeah.
That's the pants I wear.
Yeah.
And it's like Magellan, like Academy sells them, the Magellan brand. I get them for like $30 each.
Nice.
They're tough as hell. So it's like, yeah, I'll just keep buying these until they don't make them.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, it's like, like I wear these black work shorts that I get from Target. I'm just like, order me 10 pair.
Yeah, that's me, dude. Once I find something that I like, I'm like, oh, this fits me well, fits me the way I expect. I like it. It's been held up well. This is all I'm buying until it's not available anymore.
Yeah.
This
show was sideways so long ago. It's
that's what else? It's Thursday night. What else you can do?
I know exactly. I mean, well, there's Thursday night football, right?
Yeah. No.
I don't. Yeah. But
who cares about the NFL? I love football. I hate the NFL. Don't care.
Did I did. I told you about the Michigan thing that I watched.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm trying to remember
that on the list. Yeah.
Yeah, because I literally did not watch any TV this week other than the Menedez thing. I watched nothing.
Me neither. I watched
such a shitty week.
I've watched a bunch of YouTube, so I can talk about. So I've been watching YouTube shorts, been getting into them more for whatever reason. They just like, I'm in the algorithm now, so they're feeding me stuff that I like to see, and they're longer than TikTok. They're like, some of them could be up to 8 minutes.
Oh wow!
Now, or 3 minutes or something like that. But do you remember the band Collective Soul?
Yeah.
Gotta let your light shine.
Yeah, I know. Yep.
So you know that when it's like wow, you know that sound.
Okay.
So there's a clip of the dude, and they're talking about, well, how'd you come up with the song? How'd you come up with this sound? He's like, well, he said, honestly, he's like, it's a roll of toilet paper, an empty roll of toilet paper, and we needed something to break up the sound. So he just a roll of toilet paper. And that was one of them. There was another one. I have another buddy who's a musician, and I've been every time I stumble across one of those, I send them to him because I know he'll appreciate it. But so I've been watching a ton of that, and they just like, they've seen that I like those, so they're feeding me all these crazy stories about riffs and certain things that people made in songs that I like. So
LL Cool J does a show on that's on YouTube.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it's all about rap music and where they where the song came from. So they pull the song apart.
Oh, so like Song Exploder. You did that, a podcast that did that.
Yeah, so it's there was a new episode that just came on. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it.
And there was a what's the name of that brand? Complex.
Tonight we're getting no help from the audience.
Yeah. So there's they don't have it on YouTube anymore. But have you ever heard of the magazine Complex? It's like a hip hop style magazine.
No.
So they had a YouTube channel, and now I think it's on Vimeo, where they had a thing called Magnum Opus, and they would take a song and do a deep dive into the song, like what the culture was going, what was happening in the culture at that time, how this
Okay.
song impacted it. They brought all the people in to talk about it, how it went, like maybe whatever controversies happened while they were recording it. One of the best ones is the Still Tippin', which is the Slim Thug, Mike Jones song.
Okay.
That's one of the best ones that they did.
Shit, I don't remember what it was called. Is that it?
Oh, okay.
What?
LL Cool J was on one of those. Maybe that's where he got the idea. Because it sounds like he's doing
Probably.
a similar thing.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what else I've been falling into?
What's that?
All this P. Diddy stuff, dude. Oh my God.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, like that's another thing they're feeding me in those shorts is people talking about all the little things that have happened. And I heard something that I wish I had never heard in my life.
What's that?
So what do you know about the P. Diddy thing?
I know, like, probably just what's, so I know what he's being accused of and what he's supposedly done, and
Yeah.
some of the basics. I haven't been really following along. I mean,
So
just the sensationalized portion of it.
so like this is all like Illuminati type stuff,
Okay.
that they're accusing him of. So it's a lot of like he's getting sexual favors from these rappers and these artists, for clout, for money, for
Yeah.
promote your record and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of gangster rappers that are mixed up in this. Meek Mill was the one that I heard that I wish I never heard. He's like he was a really hardcore rapper from Chicago, right?
Right.
There is a video that's audio of Diddy just clapping the bejesus out of his cheeks, and it is horrifying. It is horrifying. Like it just popped up. I'm scrolling through the next short, and it popped up, and I was like, I wish I'd never heard this in my life. And it's like it is not great. But there's so much of that stuff going on, like with Justin Bieber saying that, like, and they're playing his songs, and he had a popular song. It's like "Lost My Soul at a Diddy Party."
Oh.
And when you start listening to those words, you're like, oh my God, like something happened to Justin Bieber.
Well, it was funny because, like, supposedly, like, Cat Williams.
Yeah, that's where it all started.
He's been saying this shit forever.
Yeah.
Like, dude, like, this ain't right. It was calling him out, and everyone was like, yeah, screw this guy. He's just full of shit.
Yeah.
And as it turns out, he's not full of shit.
Yeah, he was on Shannon Sharp's show talking about it, where he had been saying it long before, but
yeah,
that's where it kind of blew up. And then he was like, watch 2024. He's like, a lot of these people are coming down. And it also kind of it flows over into like the Kendrick Lamar Drake beef, where like one of the lines from Kendrick Lamar's Drake diss is like, he's like, there's a lot of weird shit happening. A lot of these rap artists are here to police it and talking about pedophiles and stuff. And it's like, damn, man, crazy.
It's just one of those worlds that it's like, I'm not part of this.
Oh no, it's
it's like
me neither. But I just
in general, like that.
Yeah.
Like okay, so I always laugh because it's like, like Jared from Subway.
Yeah.
Here's this guy that just stumbled into this thing.
Yeah.
And at any point during his stumble through this, he could have said, I need to back off of this, okay? Because this is bad, and people are going to be looking at me. As soon as everyone puts their focus on you, you have to, not be a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Or if you are a piece of shit, you just have to be. Like, we know there's certain people that can just get away with being a piece of shit. Okay,
right.
Like you can do that. You have enough people believe in you, even though you're full of shit, to be okay. But that's not the norm. The norm is like, you know, you're doing closet moves,
Yeah.
you know, and you can't be here and make those moves. You know, you have to just like forego that until later, you know, when
Yeah.
you're not that guy. If he would have just given himself up,
Yeah.
whatever, which is, I get it. It's like you're addicted to something, you're addicted to it. But it didn't work out.
And the problem is that like when they're at their height of their power to pull off something like that. So
Right.
that's when it happens, because
Right.
before no one knows Jared Fogle for nobody. But
Right.
once now he's got an audience and people trust him. He's
Right.
a subway guy. Now he can start talking to underage girls. It's like,
yeah, you got to not do that.
yeah, you can just in life, like,
right. Yeah. But that's how a lot of these people fall. It's like,
yeah,
they forget that everyone is looking at them. I mean,
yeah,
it sucks because, I feel like if you look at, so there can be people that are very successful and can live a very private life and don't bother anybody.
mm-hmm.
And, like Harrison Ford, there's nothing, because
Yeah.
there's nothing to be heard. He just lives his life. He doesn't live in the public. He comes out, makes a movie, and then he disappears, flies his planes and builds wood shit in his shed.
Yeah.
And that's it. And he doesn't want to deal with any of that nonsense. So, but then there's other people like Diddy that are just,
yeah,
they feel they're indestructible. They can get away with anything.
Oh yeah.
It's like, it's not going to work.
Yeah. And it all comes to light eventually.
It sucks.
Yeah. But it's just crazy. It's a crazy time.
I mean, who would have thought Bill Cosby?
Right. I mean, he was the epitome of like
a generation.
He was like the spokesperson for Black people and what, at that time, because it was still like there was no one that was like the Cosbys.
No.
Bill Cosby in particular.
Yeah, he literally changed the thought process. Yeah. And to come to find out that like he's a scandalous asshole on the other side of this. I mean, granted, never been accused. He's never been, he's never been like, he's been caught, but they haven't been able to make anything stick.
Yeah.
But still, like, is he guilty? Probably.
Yeah.
But
once you get that power, man, people just can't handle it.
Yeah. No.
Even like people they go into politics, I'm sure there's people with the best intentions when they get into politics. But it's so corrupting so quickly that
I'm totally down. It's totally down. Corrupt me.
Exactly. That's what happens, man. It's like,
what do you want? What do you want to do?
Okay. And it may be that it may be once you find out there, it's like, oh, I can be as pure as I want to, but I'm never going to get anything done.
No. Well, the bad guy always wins.
Could be a mix of things, So.
Well, I mean, there again, the bad guy always wins. I mean, the only way to get noticed is to be the biggest tree that falls in the forest. And
whoever has the goal makes the rules. That's the golden rule.
Yeah, but it's just kind of messed up. All right, so next week, no show.
No show.
Do we just want to do a recap the week after? Do we want to do some homework? Why don't we you finish watching the Menedez thing, and then we'll watch the thing on the 7th.
The documentary. Okay.
And then we'll compare the two.
Yeah. Yeah, and then on the regular show, we can just talk about.
I can tell so many people are interested in that.
Right. Well, and we won't. The week after, we'll just have the main shows.
Yeah.
So we can just recap. We can take pictures and stuff and just recap the show.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah. All right.
Fantastic.
Watch some more depressing shit, and we'll see you in a few weeks.
See you guys next week.
Later.
Or not next week.